movies are often based off real-life stories, which can be terrifying. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I'm your host Emily, and today we'll be counting down our list of the top 10 real grudge sightings too terrifying to ignore. Coming in at number 10 is Teke-Teke. Teke-Teke appears to be someone who has inspired the Grudge. This Japanese legend goes that there was a schoolgirl who tripped on some train tracks at a critical moment, which resulted in her getting cut in half by an oncoming train. Now, Teke-Teke is a vengeful spirit who crawls around on her hands and elbows, the dragging sound of her torso along the ground, making the Teke-Teke sound, which gives her her name. If an individual encounters Teke-Teke at night, she will chase them and cut their body in half, mimicking her own death and disfigurement. She can also hide in places like cars and windows where half a body would typically be seen. And once her victim comes close enough, she surprises them and reveals herself. Now, you can only escape Teke-Teke if you can outrun her, but watch out, she's extremely fast regardless of not having any legs, so let me just say this sounds absolutely terrifying. Number 9. The White Lady. This online user said, "In my country, we call them White Lady, a woman with a white dress and black long hair. In multiple accounts, I heard you can't even see their faces. I encountered one when I was a kid. I saw a lady with a white dress walking on a bridge since I always watch my windows every morning for a good look. Since I get normally haunted by spirits, my mom always told me that if they did try to haunt you, be brave and be mentally strong. They can't hurt you if you're strong enough to not believe them. Normally, the thing I will advise is bless your house if you're religious. Prayers could help too, or having rosaries. People say they haunt people around them because they want to get revenge on their past life or want to move on and they need your help." They added, "Not all spirits are bad, they're just humans too in past life. If they did try to hurt anyone from your family, then that's a different entity inside your home." Number 8. Family Affair. A user on the Reddit page Paranormal said, "My family and I have seen a lady with a white dress and long black hair on multiple occasions. I've seen her in my brother's car, and when I glance back, she wouldn't be there anymore. My sister has seen her outside the window in the street and has also seen her through mirrors in the house. My mother has seen her the most. She has seen this mysterious entity several times, and she says that her face is hard to see. The lady doesn't have a discernible face and it's blurry. I'm concerned and I don't know what to do. My mom has also seen a man with a hat. It was in our old house and we would see shadowy figures and hear a girl screeching from the rooms." They added, "I think the white lady spirit may be the case. She has been seen in multiple rooms in my house and has even been seen outside on the street." He described her as having no face with black hair and a white dress. "Now she's tormenting my sister and scaring her a lot. This white lady has been attached to us since the old house and has now followed us to this house. My mom has even seen her rocking herself in a patio rocking chair in the house that we have at the Keys. She is definitely attached to us and our family, and I brought my concerns to Reddit because it has gone too far." Now, is this the mysterious movie character? It sounds like it. Number 7. In the Night. This online user said, "Not really paranormal, more likely a hallucination due to sleep deprivation, but it was so vivid and real that it's haunted me for years." Which is so valid, so it's being included on our list. They start off saying, "My bedroom had 2 entrances. One faced a hallway. The second was adjacent to the first and led to a common bathroom with another exit to the hallway where, at the end, was my parents' bedroom. My desk was right next to both entrances such that, at a certain angle, I could see both ends of the hall with a blind spot in the middle. So back when I was in high school, I pulled all-nighters like a moron to finish my assignments, and it was probably around 3 a.m. and I was sitting at my desk. I was dead tired and the only one awake. I glance at the hall and see a girl moving unnaturally slow past my door. She had long black hair and wore a white dress. I couldn't see her face. She was completely silent, no footsteps, no rustle of clothes. She walked into that blind spot in the hallway and did not reappear at the visible end. Just the sight of her paralyzed me. I became so unreasonably scared that I almost started to hyperventilate. I couldn't stop shaking, it was weird. I had a sister, but I knew it wasn't her because she didn't own any dresses like that and her hair wasn't that long. I sat in my old cold sweat for a while before I finally gathered the guts to move and check whether anyone was there. I went through the bathroom and peeked out the other end of the hallway, and of course, there was no one." Number 6. get her. This online user said this didn't happen to me, but it happened to my dad. We used to live in a home that was a part of the Underground Railroad. There are a few hidden crawl spaces around the house that were being used as storage in the present. While we lived there, my brother started sleepwalking and talking. One night while my parents were sleeping, they heard my little brother scream from my bedroom even though he slept downstairs. My dad ran up there, but my bedroom door was closed like something was blocking it, so he kicked the door open. But when he kicked it open, a shadow ran past him and the room was ice cold. My brother was laying on my bed, sound asleep, pointing to the closet screaming, "Get her, daddy, get her." My dad looked but saw nothing but darkness, quickly picked up my brother who was stiff as a board, covered in sweat, and ran out. When my brother finally woke up that morning, he remembered nothing that happened. After we moved, he stopped sleepwalking, and that, my friend, sounds like the beginning of a Conjuring movie, so that's a big nope for me. Number 5. In the woods. This Reddit user said, "I love walking in the woods, but some strange things have been happening in the woods. It was a very beautiful day for a hike in the woods, so I grabbed my backpack and set out on the trail. The sun was shining, the birds were singing, the leaves rustled gently in the breeze, and as I walked deeper into the forest, I noticed that the sound of nature had grown quieter. It was as if the forest was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. That's when I saw her. A woman dressed in white standing at the edge of a clearing. She looked like she was from another time, with a long flowing dress and a ribbon tied around her waist. At first I thought she might be lost or in trouble, so I approached her cautiously, but as soon as I got closer, she vanished into thin air, leaving only the sound of rustling leaves behind. I was shaken, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I needed to follow her, so I continued on the trail, my heart pounding in my chest. As I approached the clearing where I had seen the woman, I heard the faint sound of music. It was a haunting melody played on a violin. I stepped into the clearing and saw her again, the woman in white, dancing to the music of an unseen player. She twirled and spun, her dress billowing in the breeze, but then, as suddenly as before, she vanished again, leaving me alone in the clearing. I left the woods that day feeling haunted by the memory of the ghostly woman in white. I never saw her again, but I'll never forget the feeling of being watched by something not quite of this world. Number 4. Shared experience. This user said, "I was an only child when my grandmother died. This isn't about her though. My whole family met at my grandparents' cabin where she had died. My aunt and dad were sitting at the table talking about stories of their childhood, as people do when loved ones die. One of the story was about when they woke up at night in their childhood home. My dad said he would sometimes see a woman in white robes in the hallway in the middle of the night. My aunt immediately chimes in screaming, 'You saw that too.' They both saw the same woman in a white robe in the hallway just standing there. And that is very spooky." Number 3. Onryo. The Onryo is a vengeful spirit in Japanese folklore that is able to inflict damage on the world of the living in order to exact revenge for the wrongs it experienced in its prior life. Perhaps one of the most famous cases of an Onryo spirit is concerned with the samurai's broken promise. In this folktale, a samurai makes a promise to his dying wife that he will never remarry, and then the spirit of the dead wife then returns to the world of the living to behead the samurai's new bride. While the origin of the Onryo is unclear, belief in their existence can be traced back to the 8th century and was based off the idea that powerful and enraged souls of the dead could influence, harm, and end the lives of the living. Now, their physical appearance consists of them wearing a white burial kimono, wild unkept long black hair, and a face of makeup consisting of white foundation. Number 2. Slit-mouthed woman. Another Japanese urban legend that would have been at least a direct influence on the filmmaker is the legend of the Kuchisaki-onna, or slit-mouthed woman. This ghost is the spirit of a woman who had been mutilated by her husband and typically wears a mask to cover her face. She's most often described as having long straight black hair, pale skin, and otherwise is considered beautiful. She appears before those walking alone at night and asks, "Am I beautiful?" If they respond with no, she will either end their life with her long medical scissors on the spot or wait until nightfall and end their life in their sleep. If they say yes, she will reveal that the corners of her mouth are slit from ear to ear, and she will then repeat her question. If the individual responds with no, she'll end their life with scissors, and if they say yes hesitantly, she will cut the corners of their mouth in such a way that resembles her own disfigurement. This urban legend became so believable in Japan that children were begging to be escorted home by teachers and other support staff, terrified that the slit-mouthed woman could come for them. So, is it true? Maybe. And coming in at number 1 is In the Hall. This user told a story that sounds exactly like The Grudge. When I was about 13, I was watching a movie with the fam, and I remember clear as day we were watching The Hulk, and they told me to go make popcorn. I had this odd scared feeling that I didn't want to go into the kitchen, but no one wanted to go with me, so there I reluctantly went. All the lights were out, pitch black. I was facing the hallway as I was about to switch on the lights in the kitchen, when about 4 feet away from me there was this ring-like looking girl, all in white, almost glowing. Long dark hair crouched on the floor, and I said "Mom" as she was the only one in the back of the house, and she did go to bed in a white t-shirt and shorts. This thing stood straight up and walked towards me quickly. I switched the light on and it was gone. I swear I've never run so fast in my life. It was like I flew right back to the living room and dove onto the couch. My family looked at me in shock and confusion. What the hell is wrong with you? They could tell in my face and voice I was not lying about what happened, but they still didn't believe me. My sister-in-law and sister went to go check it out with a broom in hand, and of course no one there. My mom was snoring in her bed. After that I would hear and sense that in my mind a woman who looked like that was crying in the corner of my closet. Well, that's all for our list of the top 10 real grudge sightings too terrifying to ignore. Do you have any creepy ghost stories? Let us know in the comments down below, and hey, why not like and subscribe while you're down there. I'm your host Emily, and we'll see you next time. Peace.